No narcotic or opioid has been more lethal and menacing to Americans since the decade began than fentanyl. Since 2021, an estimate of over 250,000 or 250,000 deaths and counting have been attributed to the highly addictive illegal drug. For a clearer picture on the problem, VOA paid a visit to a harm reduction center in Washington state to see how addicts interact with their counsel that Julia Rivera covered in this report.
Hello, dear. How are you?
I originally was prescribed prescription opioids for many years, and then with the loss of insurance and stricter regulations, it was easier just to, just get them up from somebody on the street.
Megan DeFranco is among the 75% of opioid addicts that the National Institutes of Health, or NIH, says were introduced to opioids through a prescription.
People don't choose to have this. I thought what I was using was, it was prescribed.
The drug OxyContin once dominated the legal and illegal opioid market, but today fentanyl, most of it illegally produced, is behind most opioid-related deaths, according to the NIH. Johnny Bailey works for a group in Washington that provides help for drug users. It's called HIPS, which stands for Honoring Individual Power and Strength.
Fentanyl now is essentially in everything. Over 90% of the overdoses that are fatal are fentanyl.
According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 150 people die every day from overdoses related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
Back here is where we have showers.
It is so depressing sometimes because you're just inundated with death and like poverty and stuff.
It took the death of someone close to DeFranco to get her to stop using. She began a detox program at HIPS.
Recovery, I'm not going to say it was perfect because, you have the angel devil, but I was able to pull through. So, yeah, it took a few times, though. It took a few tries. But it is an epidemic, just like anything else. And, it's, education.
The National Institute on Drug Abuse says between 40 to 60% of people who try to quit using opioids relapse.
And inside is this.
Johnny Bailey is a recovered addict.
I'm coming up on 10 years. And when I got myself together, I went back to school to get a social work degree because my mission was to be able to bring the things to people that I wish I had. I went from being unemployed in a squad, high school dropout, separated, to having my marriage be fantastic.
Opioids are a global problem, particularly in the U.S., where they are the leading cause of U.S. overdose deaths, according to the CDC. Julia Riera for VOA News, Washington.